Okay, we are kicking off our third and final day of our summit today. This week has been about connection. So, connection with each other, and also a very deep connection within ourselves. So, our mental, physical, and spiritual bodies. I believe that we are spiritual beings. We are housed inside of this physical body, having a human experience with an intellectual mind. And so, all of those I believe to be highly, highly interconnected with each other, and one greatly impacts the other. And I don't think that we can say fix or solve problems in one area without addressing our whole self. So that has been the topic of discussion this week. We've talked about energy on day one, and then day two. Yesterday, we talked about the connection with our mental capacity and then our spiritual capacity. And then today, we're going into the physical body. And we also have our guest speaker, Emily's on here. I'm so excited. Hello, friend. She's going to be sharing her story. I really, really am super honored to have her here. I want to thank her, first of all, for being here and making time to be here with us. She is a busy, busy mama, entrepreneur, has a business. She's going to tell you all about herself here in a little bit, but it means the world that you took time to be here with us today. And I know that she's going to just bless you guys immensely. So, we're going to get into that here in just a little bit. Really quickly, there is a workbook in your email. If you haven't had a chance, go ahead and print that off. The replays are sent out every day. You can go back and take notes. Then these replays will disappear on Friday, November 1st. So you have a little bit of time to still catch up. If there's anything that you've missed or want to go back and listen to again, you're welcome to do that. Let's see here. Oh, and I have my calendar link is available. If Katie... My assistant, her charger is not working on her computer. And so, it usually just kind of never fails when we have important things going on that something's gonna come up. So anyhow, I think she's on here. She is. If she can put the link in the chat whenever she gets a minute. So my Calendly link, it's also in your emails. But I offer free 30-minute calls during these summits. So these are just for support. I love to just be able to connect with people, see if there are some resources I have that might help you, whether you might be struggling mentally, spiritually, or physically, or maybe you're not really struggling, but you just want to have a greater experience in any of those areas of life or whatever it might be. We have a really strong foundation of mindset in what we do. And we also incorporate the physical body because, like I just said, I don't think you can really address one without the other. So if there's any area that I can help you in, or point you in the direction of someone who could help you or whatever, those are what those calls are for, is just support and connection. So those are available, and my calendar is booking up. We have several of you who've already booked a call, so thank you. I'm really looking forward to meeting you or meeting with you, and I've met most of you, but I'm excited to connect with you again and to just chat and visit. So that is available. And then, yeah, I think that's about it. So let's go ahead and jump in. If you guys have questions, you're welcome to put them in the chat at any time, or you can take yourself off mute, and we'll have open Q&A here at the end. And then Emily's going to share her story. So we're going to save plenty of time for that today. So on page 9 of the workbook, physical connection. So yesterday we did mental and we did spiritual, and now we're going to bring it together with our physical. So we kind of covered a little bit of this yesterday, but we're going to go in a little bit deeper. So everything you put in and on your body has frequency. We talked about this yesterday too, that everything is vibrating. Nothing is ever actually at rest. Even us when we're asleep, we're still breathing. We still have a heartbeat. Yeah, our conscious mind is asleep, but our subconscious mind is still going. So we don't ever turn this thing off. We don't ever turn off our, even if you step into like law of attraction, we're always attracting, we're always manifesting. Our energy is always here. And so we do get the choice of what we'll do with that and what we're going to tune it to, like the radio station we talked about. What station are you going to choose today? And it's not a one-time choice and then that's where we remain. No. We have all kinds of factors and influences from the external outside of us, and that we perceive and interpret things that make our vibration go down or up. And so we continuously, over and over, multiple times a day, get the opportunity to choose what we will be, like where our tune is and where we'll be connected at vibrationally. So every place you take your body has frequency. So home, work, your environment, outdoors. This is why grounding is like a real thing. And if you go back to what you put in and on your body, I was Googling a few things before here trying to get like real numbers on some stuff, but it's amazing to me, like food has a frequency. So chocolate, actually, like raw like cacao powder and things like that, has a very high frequency. Goji berries have high frequency. And then underneath that was like fruit was the next one, and then vegetables under that, and then meat was under that. So I thought that was very interesting. You know, the vibrational frequencies of what we even put in our body, it matters so much. And then, of course, you know, like heavy metals and toxins and all those things have a very low frequency. But even what you put on your body, so linen and wool, like cotton and wool, have the highest frequency of what we put on our body. And then, you know, like polyester and all the synthetic fabrics have a much lower frequency than natural fabrics. I thought that was fascinating. And even in Bible times, you know, like they clothed themselves with certain linens and garments and things. And I think that some of that honestly has to do because it has a higher frequency. It resonates with us in a different way. So that was really interesting to me to think about that. But every place that you take your body, the environment that you're in, it all has a frequency. The walls, the color has a frequency. Sound obviously is frequency. But even feng shui, if you've heard of that, like the way that you organize a room or you set things up, the direction that your bed faces, you know, how different shapes, all of these things, it seems like little things, but you can tell when you go in a place. So for me, for instance, doing massage therapy, you know, it matters how we set our room up. Not to say mine is in the best of places, right? It doesn't look the most fabulous, but it's organized, it's clean, and I have ideas on where I'm going from here. I'm in a temporary spot. So what's being created right now, though, is very much a better, I guess, description of my personality and how I want it to feel. But when you go in a place, it has a feeling. When you're in a restaurant, like you feel, when you're in someone's home, you feel welcome or you don't. You can tell if it's cold and things aren't great, you can tell. And if it feels good and warm, and even if it's messy, if people are living in it, you can tell where the energy's at in the room. So even the environment. So I was looking at Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi has the highest frequency. So when I say we want a high frequency, our body resonates, they say around 62 to 78 megahertz. Anything below 62, when it starts dropping below that, we start creating an environment for illness and disease. Because those viruses, those bacteria, even cancer cells, and you can look this up. I'm not, this is like the gray line where I'm probably not supposed to say things, but I'm going to tell you because you deserve to know, and you can go look it up. So go look up the studies on frequencies and how, like what frequency bacteria, cancer, candida, viruses, what frequencies those thrive in versus what frequencies our bodies are functioning optimally in. And notice what happens as your frequency drops. It provides an environment for other things to grow. So I think it is very fascinating to really consider where your frequency is at. So, but with Wi-Fi and mobile phones and, you know, electromagnetic fields and things like that, those frequencies are way, way, way too high for us of where our body's meant to resonate. So that starts causing anxiety, panic attacks, nervous system disruptions. It starts disrupting our brain waves. Our brain waves operate at certain frequencies when they're in like alpha, beta, theta, delta, all of those things. So as you're waking up and as you're going to sleep, your brain literally operates at different frequencies and different brainwave patterns. So when we get these frequencies that are too high from external things like Wi-Fi, it disrupts our neurological pattern. And so that's why I'm very interested in mindset I'm also very interested in our physical body and what's going on, what's happening there, and how this is trying to communicate with us. So how can we get our frequency high from, food and certain areas, but not have it so high that it's disrupted from all these other factors going on around us? So when you look at, let's see, even people, so the people that you're in contact with, if we all vibrate at a certain frequency, are the people around you vibrating at a frequency that you desire to match? Because eventually, they say the story of the acorn is like, if you leave it sitting on the table and you don't go put it in the ground, it will never become an oak tree. So your environment matters. It matters what kind of seed you are as well, though. Like it all matters. And I think that sometimes we get so focused on just one area. It's all the internal work. It's all you. It's all you. I would say 90% of it probably is you. But then there is this external part that, what is your environment? Who are the people you're around? What kind of friendships, family, work environment do you have? Do you put yourself in the room with people that you desire to be like? Or do you feel unworthy and incapable of being in that kind of environment? It's very fascinating to me. The people we're around, our partners, our spouses, our kids, and even us as moms, we're a huge barometer in our home of energy. Everyone matches to mom. They literally came from you. They match to you instantly. It is the craziest thing. So when your energy and your vibrational frequency changes, so does theirs, especially the smaller they are, when they're not realizing that, oh, I can think for myself. They just do whatever you do. They think how you think, they operate how you operate. And so the work that you do internally for yourself not only impacts you, it impacts everyone around you. And that's where the power comes from, and my strong conviction and desire to help people with this, because the ripple effect that you will have will be beyond what you even comprehend or what you're even aware of is happening. So even down to our hormones, our cells, our DNA, our brain waves, these all respond to frequency changes. So they respond to negative ones, which is usually what we notice, but they also respond to positive ones. So how can we create more of this? That's the part we're responsible for, the internal work. We can create this. We can manufacture this at any time because this is available to all of us. And it's measured scientifically now. It's not woo-woo anymore. It's not Joe Dispenza has so much scientific evidence on how they are changing hormones, the chemical structure, the DNA, the cells at a cellular level, even through doing lab work, brain scans, brain wave scans, all these things. If you want more scientific things, listen, I sound so smart. If you want more scientific-y things, go look up Joe Dispenza. But anyhow, you have to kind of prove some of this stuff to me. And so I love just passing on the information to you. All right. So one of the biggest ways I think when you're kind of stuck in that low vibration and you just can't seem to get out of it, one of the biggest ways for me that's most helpful is to go move my body. To physically just say, go move the body, go walk, go run, go exercise, go do some jumping jacks. I don't care what it is, go move your physical body, and that will get the energy flowing in a different way. So Dan Martell says, exhaust the body to tame the mind. That man had ADHD. He did not have a great home life. He was into drugs at 17 years old, already had gotten in trouble, went to jail. While he was in jail, he learned how to code on computers. He got out and ended up developing a software company, multi-millionaire. And his story is just awesome, but he talks a lot about the mindset piece because he had to be still and be with himself while he was in jail. And so he learned a skill that he could go then make money with and do good things in the world with what he had learned. And so part of that was learning to control his mind and learning to focus. And so for him, exhausting the body tames the mind. And I love that. So let's see here. A couple other things that you might want to put on your notes is breath work. Breath work is awesome for raising the frequency. We talked about that yesterday, so I'm not going to go into depth. Essential oils are something that I really like using because it's not like extra work for me to have to do it. I can just put them on me or put them in a diffuser back there, and they're just doing their work on a cellular level. I started using them a lot with massage clients too, because as I work on their physical body, sometimes there is an inner work the oils can do as they cross the blood-brain barrier that helps the body to relax and to do certain things. But anyhow, it's fascinating what essential oils can do because of the frequency that they have from the plants. So, and then grounding, the earth has a frequency. We talked about this yesterday. The earth is a negative charge and we have a positive charge. And so when we get toxin overload, our nervous system gets overstimulated. There's too much going on energetically within us and electronically, whatever. I don't know. I'm struggling today, guys. Happy Friday. We have made it through the week and we are here. It's been an awesome week and I'm super grateful for all of this. It's a lot to process too on my end, but I'm very, very grateful for all of it. So excuse my human moments of hanging in there one more day. But anyhow, so the grounding and then detoxing. So heavy metals also have a charge and this impacts our frequencies. So even you think about magnets, they are metals and it takes the frequency for them to be magnetized to each other. And so that plays a huge role, I believe, in our frequency and our energy. So I think detoxing is very, very beneficial, especially today. Like I don't know, as generations keep coming and things keep being introduced into our environment, I think it's almost a must to detox our body and take care of our body. And then we talked about food a little bit and, other high vibe people, being in your environment, rearranging things around your home, getting away from the electrical, magnetic rays and things like that as much as possible. They make rocks too now. I carry one in my computer bag. To be honest with you, like I can't measure it to see if it works or not, but I think it's worth a try. But certain crystals, certain rocks, certain stones that are meant to absorb electromagnetic frequencies and things like that. So I think that's worth a try. The blue light glasses, I can tell help me so much. So I definitely wear those. They make covers that you can put on your phone that are supposed to help with that. So I think any way that you can do that in a physical sense will also help your internal frequency on a spiritual and a mental aspect as well. And then the sun and nature vibrates at a certain frequency. That's why most of us love being out in nature. It's peaceful, it's calm. I think that's where we were created and meant to spend most of our life and not inside of the environments that a lot of us are in. And so the more that we can get outside, the more we can get sunlight, the higher our frequency will be. Okay, so that is, mostly what I had for today. A lot of that correlates with what we have already talked about, but just bringing that together in the sense of how your vibration impacts your immune system, and your body feels everything. So emotions have a frequency as well. So when we can transform our emotions from something down here like anger, depression, sadness, resentment, whatever these emotions are we're feeling down here, when we can transform them through love and forgiveness, those are like the catalyst to change something into something higher. Then we're vibrating in joy, happiness, peace, harmony. But our body feels every bit of that. And emotions are stored in us. So either we're storing something that benefits us or we're storing something that is not benefiting us. And I believe that those emotions, say they become trapped, whatever you're, I don't know, there's a couple different books too on like where certain emotions are stored. So let's take, I don't know, I think anger is let's just pretend anger is in the kidneys. So let's say you store that there and you might not have a massive kidney issue, but maybe you start getting kidney infections often. Maybe you start having, urinary tract issues. maybe you have pain in an area, your joints, a lot of pain is felt in joints. And so maybe it creates weakness. For instance, I have jaw issues. And so, no, cancel that. I don't have them anymore. I had them when I was in high school. So my parents got divorced when I was 17. And your jaw is the connection between feminine and masculine energy, between the doing energy and the receiving energy. And so their divorce was at 17. I had a massive jaw surgery the first day of my senior year when I was 18 years old. And so can I say without a doubt that that's what created that? No, not 100%. But I think that we create weakness in those areas where we're storing these emotions that then can create further issues and an environment for issues to happen, problems to come forth and happen. So, and I see this with people in massage therapy too. We'll work on the same area, the same area, the same area. And then I had a friend who kept having the same headache, and it was stemming from her shoulders. And every time she came in, her shoulders are tight. And so finally I was like, what's going on? We started digging a little bit deeper. What's going on here? So I looked up in my essential oils book, like which oils for the frequency of emotion she was feeling. And the exact alarm point for the emotion she was feeling was right on her shoulders. So we put the oil on there. We talked through like what's going on. How do we transform this emotion into something different? And we did the physical work. Like I did work on her physical body as well. She didn't have the headache anymore. Didn't come back for me for any more headaches. I'm telling you, it's fascinating to start putting these pieces together. So your physical body feels everything, and it stores these emotions. You store them in your fascia. You can store trauma in your nervous system. So when we work on both pieces of this puzzle, it becomes a very powerful experience into freedom. It's really awesome. So you're not crazy if you're having issues happening within your body, or things happening, because it's trying to talk to you. So instead of getting scared that something's going on in our body, or I know it's inconvenient when our body's trying to tell us things, but what if we appreciated it? What if we were like, oh, well, thank you for letting me know that we're having this going on. Okay, I will address that. I'll take care of it. I'll take care of you. And what if we develop a different relationship with our body, that we appreciate it, we have gratitude for it, we love it, and we allow it to work in harmony with our mind and our spirit as well. So I think that is a great place to lead into Miss Emili, because I think she has, I love her story. She can speak on so many different things, and I don't know which parts of her story she's going to share today, but I'm excited for whichever ones. So Emili and I met actually through work. And so we kind of have known each other and just developed a friendship, and we got to work together in a, I guess you might say, professional space here. So she came to me, and I was able to coach her for 4 weeks, just one-on-one coaching. And this girl, man, she's awesome. She's so awesome. And I'm super, super proud of her and all the changes that she's made. And I could see them on her. Like, her glow is different about her. The things that she's came and told me, like, this is happening and this is happening, and just one door after another opening for her. And is it perfect? No. Her life's not perfect because she came and did coaching, because she implemented the things, because she's doing the things. But the experience of life that she's having now is completely different. So Emili, tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do, and then kind of where you were before we started coaching, and then we'll kind of lead into that.
Okay, so I'm Emili. I have been a hairdresser for 7 years now in the same salon that, like Lauren mentioned, that we work in together. And I have a little boy. He's almost 2 years old. He'll be 2 in December. And I think that a big part of my journey started whenever I had him, because I knew that I did not want to raise my little boy in the same way that I was. I wanted him to be raised in a, I don't know, just a more healthy, being more mentally healthy, physically healthy, and emotionally. But I kind of had an eye-opening experience for about 2 years. I have a degree in early childhood education, and I taught school, kindergarten and first grade. And it was super eye-opening for me, because you get to see all kinds of kids with all kinds of different experiences. And I kind of felt what those kids were feeling just in a different way. I was going through a pretty hard time in my own life. Physically, I was not healthy at all. I was actually diagnosed with degenerative disc disease in my neck and lower back and scoliosis. And then I was diagnosed with SMA or Nutcracker syndrome. And that is where your main artery gets compressed. And so for me, I carried a lot of my stress in my stomach. And whenever I would get really anxious or I just have a lot of things going on in my life, my artery was getting compressed right around my stomach, and it would just have this terrible pit, and I would throw up and I would pass out, and it was just I couldn't figure out what was causing it, and I went to every kind of doctor you could ever imagine, and we ran test and test and test, and like nothing was adding up, which they knew what was going on, but they just couldn't figure out why. And then I knew, I'm like, okay, so I've got a lot of stressors in my life that I need to work on. I need to get through, and that's going to help my physical health. And I started working with Lauren. I think it's been about maybe 3 or 4 months ago. And I have just felt my life take a total 180. We started working on a little bit of like diet things, like physical health, what I was putting in my body, and like how it was reacting. Just kind of how that affects my whole mental health. And now I'm taking on new adventures I would have never dreamed of doing. And I just feel like I'm showing up every day to be a better person, a better mom, and just all the things.
Yeah, I'm so proud of her. Yeah, it's kind of challenging, like put everything in here together of what we have worked on. But she has done the work, and that is one thing I will say about all of my clients, really. They do the work and the work works. So I'm super, super proud of you. So you talked a little bit about what your experience was like with us working together. You know, we did a little bit on the physical health. We did some on the mental stamina pieces of things. Like what have you seen change? Like what's the differences in your experience? I don't know. Would you tell them anything else about your experience working together and then kind of lead into what you see different happening in your life now?
So some of the things that I feel like I have worked on was kind like the grounding, talking about grounding. That's helped me with like my stress and anxiety, and then kind of getting back into it. And then a lot of your holistic approaches, like adding in the correct nutrients that you need in your body and the supplements and like the correct amount of protein. I feel like that's kind of helped my physical health so that it can help my mental health as well, and how that all just applies into my everyday life. So I also live on a cattle ranch, so I'm around cattle and animals all the time, and like the things that you do and you apply, like for instance, like your mineral salt, like we need that. And it's the same for like cattle need their mineral salt. And like whenever you kind of break it down, for me it makes sense of like we do the basic things for our animals so that they can turn around and like provide for us. And whenever we can kind of get back to that and do the basics of, the correct, having the correct mindset, and then being spiritually like led, like just trusting God. And I don't know, just everything. It just all makes sense, but I can't put it all into words very well.
Yeah, you're doing awesome. You're doing awesome. So one thing I know when you came in, I feel like you I guess it's like a judgment call, but from what I could observe, you were kind of in the throes of motherhood, of work, of people pleasing, of like trying to do so many things, and you seem to feel frustrated with life and very stressed and very just overwhelmed and running circles, kind of like just chasing your tail, I would say. And
Yeah.
so we really, the physical pieces really helped her, you know, so sugar impacts our mind a lot. And so, we started doing those physical things to kind of help get our mind in a better place. But from the work that you've done, what is your experience like now? Like with work, with taking care of your son, with your new adventures, with all of the things that you're doing and the way that you do it now? Like what's the difference in the way that you did life then versus the way that you're doing life now and your experience of it? Because you're taking on, this girl's taking on way more now than she was before I ever met her, but she's so calm, like she's doing it in a whole different way. So explain a little bit of that to us.
So I felt like before my mind was kind of like a rat race. Like you said, like I was going here, there, you got to be here, stay on a schedule, do all the things. And I was stressing myself out more trying to make sure I got everything done than to actually enjoy what I was doing each and every day. Like I just slowed down. I don't have to be on a time crunch all the time. I don't like what I think there was one thing that you said that stuck with me. I'm not sure if I'm going to say this right, but it's today I'm going to get done what I can get done. I'm not going to worry about, I've got 9,000 things I need to do. I'm not going to worry about doing them today. What is thrown in front of me, I can handle, and I'm not as stressed out. And I feel like I'm better at setting boundaries with people. And I feel like I'm better at knowing what I need so that I don't get ran over by other people. And maybe that I just have like a little bit more clarity of what I need to be doing to get where I'm going for the big picture. And all the little stuff just doesn't matter as much anymore.
Yeah, we did a lot of work on setting goals. And so Emily had lots of goals, but she was not quite like integrated with her goals. Like she could see it, but she putting her in the picture and her feeling worthy and her doing it out of a deep satisfaction that she's fulfilling her life mission, not out of a need to help everybody else, which helping people is great. Like that is I love that attribute and that characteristic about you. At the same time, sometimes we might not be appreciated for the help that we give other people, or we might not be, it might not be reciprocated. And sometimes that well runs dry. And so I think there's a big difference in us being and fulfilling our mission because it is our mission and because it satisfies our soul in a way that nothing else can, versus us trying to just do things for everybody else all the time. And so there's a whole different kind of inspiration when it comes from within you versus a need outside of you to fulfill for someone else. So kind of tell us a little bit about that, like how you've been able to focus on your goals and your vision while still enjoying the present moment and being like, it's not that you still help so many people. And I would almost say that you probably serve more people now, even just through conversation and, like you are a brighter light shining and actually helping more people by staying in your lane and on your path and knowing who you are and where you're going. Can you touch on that a little bit?
So I kind of feel like I might need you to kind of chime in a little bit, but I kind of feel like just having a more positive mind and knowing directly what I need and what I need to do. I'm doing me, but I can also take the time to help. If I notice somebody like just maybe they're really emotional, like I can take that time. And normally I would try to avoid people that were emotional, like, no, I don't do emotions. I don't do crying. Keep that over there. But now I'm like more accepting to that. Like, okay, maybe just a few nice words or a kind smile. Like my peace can spread on to somebody else.
Mhm.
Um,
Because you're
what
giving it to because you're giving your peace to yourself. Like you're making room for your own peace. So then you now have cultivated that inside of you and you can give it to someone else. Because and you don't even, it's not like we have to give it away. We just be it. And so they just receive it because like we just talked about, everything is energy and frequency. So when you walk around in a frequency of peace, you automatically just radiate that to everyone that's around you. And so that's
it,
what I mean, even for me, when I started doing personal development work, I was very hesitant to do personal development work. So I was raised like, you need to serve everybody, you need to put yourself last, you need to work hard, you need to, and I was completely drained of all of that. And so there was no peace or joy or love that I was really giving anyone else because I never made time for that to develop that inside myself. And so it almost sounds like counter productive or whatever the word is, But it's amazing how when you do it for you first, you can just go be it in the world, and the other people get it with you. So I really have a lot of respect for you and the way that you have done that and grown into that like so gracefully. I think is super, super awesome. So, okay, one more question I have for you. What made you choose to dive in? Like, so we knew each other for over a year or more. I mean, like we've known each other before, but we really got to know each other well over the past year. So what finally, after a year plus, you were like, okay, let's give it a go?
Okay, so I've kind of been working on my own personal health and stuff for about 3 years now. And the last year that we've been working together, I started getting massages by you. And I just remember our conversations while like you were massaging me about just a different way of life and like your positivity, your good energy. That's really like what triggered me. I'm like, okay, I like this. Like, this is like, I always left your massage room feeling so good and like just a fresh new start. And then, same with whenever we would just have our maybe short little conversations about what's going on, or like, have you heard of this, or how does this work, Lauren, in the salon? Like, that's really just been super eye opening for me. And the way you raise your kids too. I love the way that you raise your kids and how you take care of them mentally and physically. And I know that my energy, like you said earlier, your kids feed off of your energy. And I knew that for my little boys, for me to be able to provide him that happy life and all the things, I needed to get right within myself. And that's kind of what sparked me to work with you. And I love your all over your energy. Like, you always bring a good energy into the room no matter what. And it's just really inspiring.
Oh, well, thank you, girl. I'm to like go get the Kleenexes. I don't know, like that. No, I really appreciate that. Yeah, but and that is just a testament to um what you can do too. You know, you as Emili, but you as anyone watching this, anyone who's on the call right now or watching the replays, your energy, like I didn't have to go ask Emili, like, hey, Emili, will you be my coaching client? Like, like she came to me, and I see that so much. And I have several entrepreneurs who have reached out too that ask, like, why is this working for you? It's not necessarily what I do, it's who I have become. And
I
that's
agree.
not to like pat myself on the back, but I've done the work, and it is consistently showing up and being it. And that is why the internal work matters. Like you can vacuum the floor all day long, but you have to plug it into the wall. That's where the magic happens. So it's not Lauren. Like Lauren's like the vacuum. It's not necessarily Lauren. It is the power that flows through me. That is the force of attraction. It's a very real thing. And so I hope that what everything that she just said, I appreciate it. And at the same time, though, I hope that it is the biggest lesson for you, because this is it literally impacts everything around you, your family, your business, your career, your physical health, every opportunity that you're going to come in contact with. Because if you are not in tune with what's around you, like we talked about yesterday, the frequency of every radio station in your reach is right here. Are you tuned to it? Are you aware it's even there? So that work comes from the inside, and that's the power of this work. So I really appreciate you sharing. Do you have anything else that you want to share before we go?
I don't think so. You hit it all. And no, I'm not great with my words like you, so I'm good.
Yes, you are. You're fabulous, girl. Well, I super appreciate you being on here, and I didn't ask you permission for this, but I'm going to ask you now. If anyone wants to contact you or have questions, would they be able to do that? Okay.
Absolutely, for sure.
Yeah,
I'll be
Emili
happy to help.
Hunter she's on Facebook and Instagram. So if you have questions for her, she is an awesome, awesome person. And I think that yeah, connecting with her is a blessing. So anyhow, thank you so, so much for being on with us today. Like I really sincerely appreciate you taking the time. And I hope that her story has blessed someone out there today. And yeah, it's just goodness. Like I really appreciate you sharing.
Thank you
Um,
for having.
yeah, yeah, anytime. Okay, so really quick before we get off of here, we have so Emili did one-on-one coaching with me, so I have that available. I also have a 6-week course that's available and a 6-month course that is available. The 6-week course is on self-concept, so that's the deep inner work. And then this 6-month course is transform, so that brings in the physical, mental, and spiritual pieces. It's a lot more hands-on, more in-depth, more, you get a lot more of me in that course. And it is a full-blown transformation from beginning to the end. We break it all down. We do 3 weeks of assessments only, a physical, mental, and spiritual assessments. And then we work on all 3 of those categories throughout our whole time together while doing the deep internal work of mindset shifts and manifestation and all of those things. So those are kind of the programs that I have. But for those of you who are not ready for a program, or maybe, we're either friends or we're family or whatever, but you like the content that we have here or in the group, or, whatever, or you're looking for support, maybe like alternative options, more holistic options for your physical, mental, and spiritual well-being, we've created a membership option that we just launched this week. So if you haven't went back and watched the replays, we just launched it on Wednesday. Open it up. We already have 4 members in there, so you guys are already coming in, and everyone just come on in. You are welcome there. The reason I created this was because I wanted to build a community as a safe place for you to come and to be heard and seen as you seek alternative holistic support in your physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. So we're incorporating all 3 of these, where you can come ask those out of the box questions, where you don't feel weird asking things that might go against the mainstream, and where you're looking for resources that might be available to you that you might not find out there in other places, because people, even on Facebook and stuff, like I still have to filter what I say to make sure that it's not going to get taken down. So this is a place where we can come and have those conversations. The goal in this is to equip and empower you so you can be in a state of readiness for the opportunities and life experiences that you desire having. So a lot of times we are not even in a mental, we don't have the stamina prepared for what it's going to take for us to do what we really desire doing, or we're not physically ready to go and do things, or whatever it may be. Spiritually, we're not connected enough to have the intuition to trust ourselves and to trust the decisions that we're making. So I want people to be in a place of readiness to get to have things in their life that they desire, to improve the relationships, improve the finances. Just like we talked about with Emily, everything is energy. So this work impacts everything around you. And sometimes we just want to put the fire out, but the route to the fire is way, way back here. And so this is an all-encompassing membership. So who is this for? This is for people who are new in our space, who might not be quite ready for a program or whatever. And like I said, friends, family, who we may be close, but it's like, well, I don't really want to be coached by you, but I just want like the information. So this is for you. Or if you've been considering doing coaching, but you're not quite sure, which program, or maybe, you don't have the time right now, or the finances have been tight, then this option would be a great place to start. This is also for past clients who want to stay in touch, who want to get back in our energy, who want to continue growing, who want to, maybe you did just the self-concept course, and so you didn't get the physical health piece of everything that we talk about. So this is for you to come in and us to continue working together and continue growing. So this is cost effective and it's time efficient. We meet once a week on Zoom every Wednesday. That'll be live. I'll be teaching things live. We'll rotate through different topics. So the first Wednesday of the month will be on physical health. The second week will be on mental health. The third week will be spiritual health. And then the fourth week, we're going to do an integration session where we come together, and part of being in a community is us communicating, not just me talking at you. So you get to come on, ask questions. We'll have open Q&As, and we'll actually put the work into what we've been doing. So we'll take knowledge is potential. When it's actually used and implemented, then it becomes powerful. So we're going to implement these things together live. So some of the topics really quickly that we're going to go over in the physical health arena will be sleep. A lot of people come to me and they're not sleeping good. So we really work on getting you sleeping good, get your gut health in check. We're going to do a lab work session, like what labs you might want to ask your physician to run, if you're having low energy, or what's going on, and kind of how they correlate with what you might be feeling. We're going to talk about energy, adrenal fatigue, and what you can do about it. Epstein-Barr virus and how that impacts so many things in your physical health. Oxidative stress and toxin overload, parasites, we're going there. We're going into nervous system issues, and then just how to get your body communicating in harmony and better, and talking to one part, talking to the other parts better. And then in the second week of the month is going to be mental health. So we're going to address things like your paradigms. Where have your thoughts been coming from? Where does this stem from? How is all this created within you? Your self-identity, perspectives, and how to shift them. We're going to talk about overwhelm, stress, and anxiety. Like, how do we get out of that state? Because it seems like once that gets ramped up and we start feeling that way, it can be really hard to come down off of that. We're going to talk about emotional regulation. Like, how do we shift our emotions? And we're going to talk about focused attention, because I think that is a very, very powerful tool to have developed, and especially in this world, that is where momentum comes from and power comes from. So the third week of the month is going to be on spiritual health. We're going to talk about things like connection with spirit, frequencies, energetics, our beliefs. Do they serve us? Can we change them? We're going to talk about judgments, blessing, and releasing. You know, a lot of us have spiritual or religious backgrounds where we were taught to forgive and all this stuff, but we're still asking God to help us forgive this thing over here. So we have not actually forgiven it. How do we actually tangibly forgive and let go of things? We're going to go into active faith, because if our faith and fear have an inverse relationship. So if your faith is up here, then we usually aren't having fear, anxiety, worry, all that stuff. When we're having a lot of fear and anxiety, our faith is down here. So if we claim that we believe and that we are full of faith, then why are we experiencing this? How do we get that balanced out? So we're going into that, the power of our words, how to get in a state of flow and openness to receive. So we have these desires in life, and the things might start coming, and then we might get scared or unsure, or we don't know how to do something. So then we put the blocks up, we stop the flow of the things coming in. How do we get in a state of flow? And then how do we stay in that state of openness to receive? And then the fourth week of the month going to be integration sessions. So that's going to be breath work, meditations, journal prompts. We're going to share our wins. You're going to have open Q&A. We'll do body movement things, different things like that. So that's what it looks like inside the course. So in all of that, I hope that you can see how we'll put all of this together and how it will literally impact everything else in your life, and your experience of it can be totally different. Within the program, we're also going to have guest speakers who come in. These are expert professionals in their field, and we already have a lineup for the first 3 months. I'm super excited. We have a pharmacist coming in who is like, she's into functional medicine and things like that. We have a mental health nurse practitioner coming in, and we have a marriage counselor who's been in the field for years and years and years, and I think can shed a lot of light for us, especially as women, on how to have more harmony in our marriages. Because if you come in here and you start to change, that's going to throw off the energy in the home that you're used to. And that's not a bad thing, but how do we do that in a way that we can still keep in harmony with the other people in our home who might not be going through the same changes that we're going through? So I'm excited about that. And then, so all of these sessions will be recorded. They'll be added to your client vault, so you can go back and look at them anytime. And then we'll also have exclusive resources for you that we'll be putting in the vault from time to time. You know, links to things, anything that's mentioned from our guest speakers or that I mentioned or whatever. It's going to be very organized in the vault. You can go by topic, find the video that we did, find the resources that were mentioned. All of that stuff will be there together for you. And then a portion of your investment in the membership can be used as a credit toward more in-depth programs that we offer, should you desire working more closely with us for more support. So meaning, if you've been in the membership for a couple of months and you're like, okay, I need more help, or, you know, I'm ready to do more, then you can take a portion of that investment that has been in the membership and apply it towards a program. And then there's no contract here. So this is just a monthly membership. This is for you. You do what you want with it. So you come in. If you want to stay 2 months, stay 2 months. If you want to stay 2 years, stay 2 years. This is yours. You can cancel it at any time. Come and go as you please. And then there's also a welcome video that's already in there. It's waiting for you. So if you join today, that's already there for you, ready to roll. And I have my assistant, Katie James, is going to be your support person. So we have her, she has a role in this that she's going to be helping me make sure that, everyone has everything that they need. If there's any way that you need to be supported through your journey in our membership, she is there for you. She can get you links for things, whatever you need. She's there, and her email and her Facebook Messenger account are inside the vault for you, so you can find her easily. Okay, so the membership is $95 a month. And for our founding members, we are giving you a $20 discount each month for life. So everyone on the call today, the founding members will go for a limited time, this member. And so it's $75 a month for the founding members, and that'll be for life. And then also, if you are a member by Monday at noon, Monday, October 28th at noon, we are having a sneak peek bonus session that is going to be over the fact that sickness halts health. Every time we get sick, our immune system gets down, we get tired, especially if you're a mom. The laundry gets behind, the dishes get behind, everything gets behind. And then you're trying to play catch up. Well, then you're behind like 2 to 3 weeks at that point. So how do you support your immune system during the winter months? And then how do we support ourselves when we're sick? Like, how can we get through it quicker? This isn't to say you're never going to get sick, but to be honest with you, when my kids get sick, it's pretty quick. Like, they might have the thing and they're back at school pretty soon. And it doesn't take us all out, if that makes sense. So how do we support our body in a natural, holistic way during the winter months and when we're sick? We're going to talk about that. I'm going to break all that down for you, give you a ton of resources so that you can do the same for your family. So that session is going to be Monday, October 28th at noon, and it will not go in the vault. That is just going to be a thank you. I appreciate you for taking action and being part of the membership here in the beginning. So that session will not go in the vault. It will just go directly to your email if you are a member by then. The third thing, so I have 3 things. The founding members, $75, the sneak peek bonus session on Monday the 28th. And then if you enroll by midnight tonight, this ends tonight at midnight, you will also get our Overcoming Anxiety webinar for free. So I'll send those out tomorrow. Okay, I think that's everything. I am super excited for those of you that are already in here. Katie has dropped the link over here in the chat if you want to check that out for more information. I know that was kind of a lot, but I want you to know everything that you're getting yourself into. So it is there. If you have further questions, let me know. Like I said earlier, my Calendly link is open if you want to book a 30-minute call. Those are completely free, just support sessions. If there's any way that I can help you, hop on those calls. They're already booking up. I think I have some more spots available next week. I'll go in there and check on that and make sure that there's still some openings. If you don't see anything that works for you, reach out and let me know. We'll find a time that works for you. Yeah, I think that's it. So the 3 things one more time is a founding member's price at $75 a month every month for life. The bonus session on Monday, the 28th, the sneak peek over health or sickness halts progress. And then by tonight at midnight, if you have become a member, then you'll also receive our Overcoming Anxiety webinar for free. So thank you, thank you. Yes, Sally, it was so good to see you on here. I appreciate you guys being on today. I hope that it's been beneficial. It's been a blessing for you. Emily, thank you again for sharing your story and being with us. That's all I have for today. So if you guys have any further questions, let me know. And I hope to be hearing from you soon. We'll see you guys next time.